That Lord Nityananda Prabhu we're honoring today on his Holy Appearance Day. And today we're going to discuss the real appearance of Lord Nityananda. One is the appearance from Mother and Father. But it's described there's a real appearance of Lord Nityananda Prabhu that we'll discuss today. First of all, this is a very beautiful song by Narottam Das Thakur. But it's very interesting. It says, Nitai Pada Kamala Koti Chandra Shushitara. That the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda, they're more cooling than millions of moons. If anybody knows anything about Sanskrit poetry, this is called Alankar Birut, wrong use of ornaments. For those of you who've been on Parikrama with me, you know that moon and lotus, they're enemies. As soon as moon will come, lotus will close her face. She's very dear to the sun. As soon as sun will rise, every lotus will smile to see the sun. So sun is the friend of the lotus flower, but not moon. So here how moon and lotus has come together, they're enemies. And talking about shade, if we want shade, lotus flower will not give us much shade. We need a tree to give us shade. So how is it possible? Narottam Das is great acharya in our line. How is it possible he can make so many mistakes? Not possible. The conclusion is that Lord Nityananda's lotus feet are beyond anything in this material world. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chaksurun Militam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Sayam Rupa Ganamayam Dati Swapadandigam Adadanastridandantai Yache Puna Puna Srimad Rupa Padambujo Dulisyam Janma Janmani Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Jai Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai.
So today is the 13th day of the bright half of the month of Magh. We've all heard of Magh Mela, and every 12 years Kumbh Mela. So this is that month when it's very cold, that everybody vows to take bath in the Ganga in this cold month of Magh. And in Bengal there's a place where the Ganga doesn't flow. Because those who live on the banks of the Ganga, they're very fortunate. Because they get to take bath in Ganga and they get purified. But Lord Nityananda, he appeared in that place where Ganga doesn't flow. Just to show that he's the most merciful. In that place where the people are unfortunate, he has appeared in that place. We call Radhadesh. Sometimes we say Radhadesh, it's like Radharani's name, but it's a special type of R-D that's almost like a R, Radhadesh. That place where Ganga doesn't flow. There's a district called Birbhum, and that district of Birbhum, there's a village called Eka Chakra. Nowadays also known as Veer Chandrapur. So in that Eka Chakra, there lived a very, very wonderful Brahmin named Harai Pandit. He had a very, very wonderful, chaste, and very nice devotee wife named Padmavati. And they were first-class brahmanas. And on this 13th day of the bright half of the month of Magh, they gave birth to a beautiful son named Nityananda. From the appearance of Nityananda, the whole of Ekachakra district became free of all types of famines, all types of poverty. Everything became very auspicious from the appearance of Lord Nityananda. Everyone felt joy within their hearts, seeing the beautiful child of Harai Pandit. And he began to grow. Then he began to manifest his childhood pastimes. Childhood pastimes means generally children, they play so many games. It's like here in India, everybody's crazy for cricket. In America, they're crazy for baseball. So all the children, they play these types of useless games. But little Nitai, he used to organize all his friends and they would enact the pastimes of Lord Krishna. One time he got all his friends together as the assembled demigods. He had one friend play as Mother Bhumi, and Mother Bhumi came and prayed before the assembly of the demigods. Then the demigods all went to the river that flows in Ekachakra. On the bank of the river, they made their plea. And a hidden boy, there was one boy who was hidden, and his voice came, ringing out in the sky. Very soon I will appear in Gokul in Mathura. Then one night they made a jail cell, and they enacted the appearance of Lord Krishna. They made a place called Gokul. And they took that child from Mathura and exchanged him with Yogamaya and Gokul. In this way, they enacted all the pastimes of the Lord. They enacted a pastime where one boy played Narad Muni, another played Kamsa. Narad Muni gave some secret information to Kamsa, which caused Kamsa to kill all the children of Vasudeva and Devaki. Another time, in the night, they arranged the wedding of Vasudeva and Devaki. In this way, they performed all these wonderful pastimes. And all the people of Ekachakra were astounded. How does he know all of these pastimes to make these plays? They were simply astonished. Sometimes he played Bali Maharaj and Lord Bhamana. He organized the boys to play Bali Maharaj and Lord Bhamana. And Bhamana took away everything and put his foot on the head of Bali Maharaj. And he surrendered totally to the Lord. Especially when they played pastimes of Lord Ramchandra, then little Nitai would become very emotional. They did the wonderful wedding of Sita and Lakshman and everyone, Sita and Ram and Lakshman and Urmila. They played their arrival in Ayodhya. All the parents were astounded. How does he know all these pastimes? We never taught him these pastimes. How does he know? Then one time, they played the pastime of Lord Ram being banished to the forest. And wandering in the forest, Lakshman came and he saw 5 monkeys. Immediately drew his bow. Who are you? He said, no, we have come to surrender to Lord Ram. Please save us, please save us. Bali has captured our kingdom. Please save us. We want to take shelter of Lord Ram. Then Lord Nityananda took them to the lotus feet of Raghunandan. Then with castor plants they built a bridge across the river, and all the boys playing monkeys charged across the river, and there was a big fight with all the Rakshasas in Lanka. Finally one boy began to play Ravana, and he approached Lord Nityananda. All right, now you see, Lakshman, I'm going to shoot you with my Shakti Shela weapon. And he pulled his bow and shot. And Lord Nityananda, little Nitai, he fell on the ground unconscious. Everyone came running. He appeared to be dead. All the boys began to cry, "Hoi, hoi, hoi." The whole village came running. They tried to revive Lord Nitai, little Nitai, but he refused to revive. The parents came. As soon as they saw the lifeless body of their son, they fell on the ground. They also became unconscious. Everyone was crying. Nobody knew what to do. Then one boy said, "I know. We became so absorbed we forgot. Nitai told us that when I fall unconscious, that boy who's playing Hanuman has to go get the medicine from Vrindavan on a mountain range." Where's that boy? Who's that boy playing Hanuman? Oh, come here. Then that boy playing Hanuman, he ran through the forest, and suddenly he met one ascetic. He said, "My dear Hanuman, why are you running so fast? You stay here in my ashram for some time and rest." He said, "No, I have to get some medicine. Lord Lakshman is unconscious." "Well, then at least you take your bath and have something to eat, and then you continue on your way." So then little Nitai went down to the river, and one boy caught his feet in the river, playing a crocodile. And Lord Nitai, he dragged that crocodile onto the land and defeated him. Then he returned to the ashram, and instead of an ascetic, there was a huge warrior. He said, "You escaped from the crocodile, but now you try to escape from me. Your Ravan is just a dog. I do not care for him, and I do not care for you." Then they began to pull each other's hair and fight with fists, beating each other. Very easily Lakshman defeated, Lord Nitai as Lakshman, he defeated that Rakshas. Then he got to the Gandhamana mountain range. He couldn't figure out which is the herb, so he was going to lift the whole top of the mountain when the Gandharvas came and began to fight with him. Some boys were playing Gandharvas, and he fought with the Gandharvas, defeated them. Then he brought the whole mountain, and they came back. The one boy was playing the part of a Vaid. He came and meditating on the lotus seed of Raghunandan. He placed the herbs, the particular herb he picked from the mountaintop. He placed it before Lord Nitai's nose and meditated on Lord Ram. Then Nitai regained his consciousness, and all of Ekachakra was overjoyed. Everyone was overjoyed, and all the parents, they said, "How does he know all these stories? We never taught him these stories." And Lord Nitai just smiled and said, "These are all my pastimes." The parents never even used to call the children. The children would play. They didn't want to leave Nitai. They would play till late and late, missing their lunch. But the parents also didn't mind. They were so enamored. Sometimes the boys played like Lord Krishna and Balaram, running into the houses of the cowherd people of Ekachakra and stealing their butter and yogurt. In this way they enacted in his childhood, Nitai, instead of playing useless games like cricket, he was enacting the pastimes of the boy. Then Nitai considered in his mind he wanted to leave. But he knew Harai Pandit will never let me go. So suddenly, very wonderful sannyasi appeared in Ekachakra. Seeing that wonderful sannyasi, Harai Pandit invited him to her house and fed him very nicely, put him to rest. The next day, he started to go. He said, "My dear Harai Pandit, I am going to places of pilgrimage. But I do not have a Brahmin companion to help me, assist me in my travels. If you could give me your elder son, Nitai, then that would be very nice." A sword pierced the heart of Harai Pandit. He thought within his heart, "Oh, same thing happened to Dasarath. Same thing is happening to me. What can I do? If I cannot leave Nitai. But at the same time, if I refuse, I'll be ruined. What should I do? What should I do? I know in the past, by visiting ascetics' orders, people have become glorious." He consulted with his wife Padmavati, and as a chaste wife, she says, "Whatever you think is right, you do." So with a heavy heart, he handed over his son Nitai to that sannyasi. And when he left, Harai Pandit fell to the ground unconscious. He couldn't live without Nitai. For 3 months, he only survived by the mercy of Lord Nityananda. He didn't eat any grains for 3 months. That sannyasi and Nitai, they traveled to so many places, countless places of pilgrimage. There's whole chapter just describing all the wonderful places they went. Finally, at some point, Nitai, he left that sannyasi, he began to travel on his own. One time he came to Sri Shaila, where Shiva and Parvati were living in the guise of a Brahmin couple. Recognizing their worship of the Lord, Parvati immediately cooked and fed him. And Vrindavan Das Thakur says, only Lord Krishna knows about their discussions. What they discuss. When he came to Ayodhya, Lord Nitai was even more emotional. When he came to Braj, he came in the mood of Balaram, wandering here and there. Then he wandered to so many other places. Somewhere along the way, he ran into Madhavinda Puri. He had heard about Madhavinda Puri's glories. As soon as he saw Madhavinda Puri, he was struck with love. Both of them had tears coming from their eyes, seeing each other. They embraced each other and fell to the ground and began to roll on the ground and cry. All Ishwar Puri and all the Ska brothers, they were completely astonished. They were crying, ho, ho, ho. Then Nitai said, now the fruit of my pilgrimage is complete. I have met Madhavinda Puri. Now I got the fruit of all my pilgrimages. And Madhavinda Puri says, no, now my fruit of my pilgrimage is complete. In this way, they spent several days together traveling and discussing topics, because Madhavinda Puri was the abode of transcendental love for Krishna. And the guru of Advaitacharya, we just celebrated Advaitacharya a few days before. His guru was Madhavinda Puri, who came to Shantipur in his travels. After some time, he left them. Nitai went to the south. Then he came back to the north, and then he went to, again arrived in Mathura. But he consulted with one Brahmin that this is the place of Krishna's pastimes, that all I see is thorns. I don't see Krishna anywhere. That Brahmin said, no, now Krishna has appeared in Navadip. You must go to Navadip. And Lord Nitai considered within his mind, when my Lord reveals himself, then I will go. So gradually the kirtans began to happen in Srivasanga, and the Lord manifested himself as the Supreme Lord. Everyone knew. Then Nitai considered, now I will leave Braj. I will go there to Navadip. So he started for Navadip. When he came to Navadip, he stayed at the house of Nandanacharya, just down the street from our ISKCON Mandir in Mayapur Chandradaya Mandir, the next little Gaudiya Math down the street from the Prasad Hall. That is the old Prasad Hall, that is Food for Life Prasad Hall, I guess it is now. That is the house of Nandanacharya. He stayed there hidden from everyone's view. Lord Gauranga and Srivasanga, he told the devotees that very soon a personality will appear. Before Lord Nityananda arrived, he told the devotees, a great personality is about to arrive in Navadip. The next day he told everyone, I had a wonderful dream last night. A great personality, as white as the ocean of milk, arrived, dressed in blue with a blue chadar, riding on a huge chariot with a flag. He was carrying a mussel in his hand. He was very glorious. And he was roaring and roaring. He was riding on a big chariot. He stopped in front of my house. Is this the house of Nimai Pandit? He was roaring. Is this the house of Nimai Pandit? Is this the house of Nimai Pandit? He was roaring like that. It just so happened that very day that Mahaprabhu recounted this dream, Lord Nitai appeared in Nandanacharya's house. So then Lord Chaitanya said, I know this means that he's appeared. You please go and bring him to me. He said, Suno Suno Nityananda, Suno Haridas. Oh Nityananda, Suno Suno, not Nityananda, but Haridas and Srivas. You please go find this personality. So all the devotees, they went all around Mayapur, they went all around Navadvip, they knocked on everyone's door, they went for 9 hours, they searched for this great personality. But Lord Chaitanya wanted to reveal that Lord Nityananda is very confidential. Not everyone can understand, just like we know the story of Krishna's Kaviraj. Miniketan Ram came in his house and began to chant the glories of Lord Nityananda. And Krishna's Kaviraj's brother offended him. He had faith on Lord Chaitanya, he had no faith on Lord Nityananda. So Krishna's Kaviraj decided, I cannot stay in such a house. If somebody has faith on Lord Chaitanya but no faith on Lord Nityananda, his life is ruined. I will not stay in this house any longer. He came here to Braj, and thus we have Chaitanya Charitamrita. So Lord Chaitanya wanted to show that Lord Nityananda is very confidential. After 9 hours of searching, they returned. They told Mahaprabhu, we cannot find him anywhere. This great personality that you say, who's arrived. We're unable to find him anywhere. Lord Chaitanya simply smiled. And the description of Vrindavan Das Thakur is so beautiful, I can't do it justice by recounting it. We'll do dramatic reading. Hearing them, Sri Gaurasundar began to smile. By the pretext of ordering the search, he showed that Lord Nityananda is most confidential. Some people glorify Lord Gaurachandra, but as soon as they hear the name Nityananda, they get up and leave. Just like if one worships Govinda but does not respect Lord Shiva, for that offense he will surely go to the abode of Yamaraj. Similarly, this incarnation of Lord Nityananda is most confidential. Without the inspiration of Lord Chaitanya, no one can even see him. If anyone criticizes Lord Nityananda's unfathomable qualities, though he possesses devotion to Lord Hari, such devotion will be checked. Devotees headed by Srivas Pandit were fully conversant with the science of Lord Nityananda, but for some fun, they could not find him. After a while, Lord Chaitanya said with a smile, "Come with me, let us go see him." All the devotees then joyfully went with the Lord while chanting, "All glories to Lord Krishna." On the way, Lord Chaitanya called, "Murari, Murari, have you not seen Avaduta Nityananda?" Saying this, he began to smile. "He's staying now at Nandanacharya's house. Come with me, we're going there, I'm telling you the truth." While walking, the Lord repeatedly chanted, "Hari, Hari, 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 Hari." His whole body shivered and his voice choked. 5 or 7 lines of tears flows from his eyes. The lustrous golden Lord was unable to walk. Sometimes he leapt ahead up to 5 steps like a powerful lion, and sometimes looked behind like a mad elephant. Out of ecstasy, the Lord would make a loud noise again and again, which was as grave as the noise of a cloud. In this way, Lord Sri Gaurasundar finally reached the house of Nandanacharya along with associates. Everyone saw a jewel-like personality sitting in the house of Nandanacharya. His effulgence was equal to that of millions of suns. He was sitting in his own mood, deeply absorbed in ecstatic meditation. He was smiling all the while. Aware that Lord Nityananda was in deep trance of pure devotion, Lord Visvambar and his associate offered obeisances. Everyone stood aside with awe and reverence. No one said a word. They simply stared at him. Then Mahaprabhu Visvambar came before Lord Nityananda, who at once understood his beloved and worshipful Lord was present. The form of Visvambar was as beautiful as that of Cupid. He wore an attractive dress and a flower garland. Sandalwood paste was smeared on his forehead. The luster of gold appeared most insignificant before the body of the Lord. Even the moon god hankers to see his enchanting face. The Lord's teeth resembled a set of pearls, and seeing his attractive hair, one becomes unconscious. To seeing his 2 broad pink eyes, one wonders, are there any more lotus flowers? His 2 long hands stretched up to his knees. A fine thin Brahman thread beautified his broad chest. His forehead was wonderfully decorated with marks of tilak, and his body looked enchanting even without any ornaments. His fingernails defeat the beauty of millions of jewels. His attractive smile is nectar. Lord Vishvambara stood in front of Lord Nityananda, who at once recognized the Lord of his heart. Lord Nityananda was stunned out of joy. He stared at Lord Vishvambara without blinking eyes. He desired to lick Vishvambara with his tongue and drink his beauty through his eyes. Nityananda desired to embrace Vishvambara with his hands and smell him with his nose. Lord Nityananda simply became stunned. Everyone was so astonished, he did not speak or move. Lord Gauranga, the life and soul of everyone, beheld the situation and began to invent ways to reveal Lord Nityananda. With a gesture, the Lord instructed Srivas to recite a verse from Srimad Bhagavatam. Understanding the Lord's intention, Srivas Pandit at once recited a verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, glorifying Lord Krishna's attractive form. Parhapitam natavara vapukarneyo karnikaram vibhadasaha kanakapisham vajayantim chamalam randram venuradhara surya puryan gopa vrindaranyam sapara ramanam pravisha gita kirti. Wearing a peacock feather upon his head, blue karnika flowers on his ears, a yellow garment as brilliant as gold, and the Vaijayanti garland, Lord Krishna exhibited his transcendental form as the greatest of dancers as he entered the forest of Vrindavan, beautifying it with the marks of his footprints. He filled the holes of his flute with the nectar of his lips, and the cowherd boys sang his glories. Hearing this verse, Lord Nityananda fell to the ground unconscious. Out of great ecstasy, Lord Nityananda remained inert as Lord Gauranga told Srivas to continue chanting. Awakening after a short while, Lord Nityananda began to cry. Repeatedly hearing the verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, Lord Nityananda became mad. He roared like a lion, and the sound shook the universe. He jumped in the air so forcibly that everyone thought all his bones would break to pieces. What to speak of others? Even the Vaishnavas became afraid. They all prayed, "Oh Krishna, please save him! Oh Krishna, please save him!" Lord Nityananda rolled on the ground and his whole body became wet with tears. Seeing the attractive form of Lord Vishvambara, Lord Nityananda breathed heavily. Sometimes he would laugh loudly, sometimes he felt happiness within his heart, sometimes he danced, sometimes he clapped his hands, and sometimes he jumped forcefully. A golden effulgence shone from the beautiful body of Lord Nityananda. Brightly shining ornaments decorated his charming bodily limbs. Yellow cloth adorned his waist, and he wore a turban decorated with champaka flowers on his head. Tinkling ankle bells sounded as he walked. Tears filled his deer-like eyes. His enchanting smile appeared as if the lightning had fallen down on earth. His captivating smile disturbed the chastity of women. His grave voice resembled the sound of a cloud. His roaring sound subdued the mad elephant in the form of Kali. He walked like an intoxicating elephant. Tears of love constantly flowed from his smiling face. Overflooded with love of God, Lord Nityananda's body showed symptoms of ecstatic love, such as shivering, standing of the air on end, and perspiration. He held a golden stick in his hand as he defeated the pride of Kali. His lotus-like palms were simply wonderful. He was decorated with armlets, bangles, necklace, bracelets, ankle bells. His 2 earrings were as bright as the sun. He rolled on the ground. Sometimes he stood up saying, "Please hold me." Then he would ask everyone, "Where is that cowherd boy, Kanai?" Sometimes he uttered strange words, and sometimes he cried or laughed. Sometimes he asked for honey, sometimes he praised his consort Revati. Sometimes he hopped, sometimes he said one thing, the next moment something else. No one could understand what he said. The fragrance of his body limbs caused all young girls and married women to leave their houses without hesitation. Lord Nityananda fell on the ground to offer obeisances to Lord Vishvambara and humbly offered prayers with sweet words. Lord Nityananda fell at the lotus feet of his Lord. Both of them tried to catch each other's feet. Both the Lords embraced each other and cried. Lord Nityananda looked at Vishvambara's face and smiling said, "Where were you? I have searched the entire world, but could not get any news of you. Finally I heard the son of Nanda Maharaj is living in Navadvip in Godadesh, hiding his real identity. I have come here to catch this thief. Today I have caught you. How will you escape?" Saying this, Lord Nityananda began to laugh, cry, and dance. Lord Gauranga also danced with Lord Nityananda. Seeing Lord Nityananda's ecstatic madness for Krishna, Gaurachanda cried along with all the Vaishnavas. The happiness of Nityananda increased without limit. Although everyone tried to pacify him, they were unable. When all the devotees failed to calm him, Vishvambara personally embraced him. As soon as Vishvambara embraced him, Lord Nityananda surrendered his life to Lord Vishvambara and became still. Lord Nityananda offered his life to him, to whom it belongs, and thus remained inert on the lap of Lord Chaitanya. Lord Nityananda floated in the water of Lord Chaitanya's love, just as Lakshman lay in the lap of Lord Ramachandra, being hit by the Shakti weapon of Ravan. Lord Nityananda swooned, pierced by the arrows of love and devotion. Gaurachandra cried with Nityananda on his lap. Both lords felt an undescribable happiness. Their love and affection for others like that of Sri Ram and Lakshman. There is no other example of affection seen between Gaurachandra and Nityananda except this. After a while, Lord Nityananda revived. All the devotees began to chant, Hari Hari, Hari Hari, Hari Hari, Hari Hari. Seeing Lord Nityananda in the lap of Lord Vishvambara, Gadadhar smiled and thought, this is contradictory. Lord Ananta always carries Vishvambara on his lap. Today his pride has been smashed on the lap of the Lord. Gadadhar Pandit knows the influence of Lord Nityananda, and Nityananda knows the heart of Gadadhar. Seeing Lord Nityananda, the heart of all the devotees filled with ecstasy, Nityananda and Gaurachandra simply stared at one another without uttering a word. Tears incessantly flowed from their eyes. Seeing each other stunned, both of them, the tears from their eyes flooded the earth. Lord Vishvambara said, "Today is a very auspicious day for me. I have seen with my own eyes pure devotional symptoms that are the essence of the four Vedas. This shivering, flooring of tears, loud shouting are not possible for anyone except one who is empowered by the Lord. If one personally sees this pure devotional service, Krishna will never reject him. I am firmly convinced that you are the full manifestation of the Lord's energy. By worshipping you, a living entity achieves devotion to the Lord Krishna. You can purify the 14 worlds. Your qualities are inconceivable, unfathomable, and confidential. There is no one existing who can defy you. You are the form of love of Krishna, the treasury of devotional service. If anyone meets you even for a moment, he will be delivered. Even if he committed millions and millions of sins, I think Lord Krishna has a desire to deliver me. That is why he brought you to me. By huge fortune I have seen your lotus feet. By worshipping you, I most surely will get the treasure of love of Krishna." Fully absorbed, the most enchanting Lord Gauranga relentlessly offered prayers to Lord Nityananda. There were so many talks between Lord Nityananda and Lord Chaitanya, but most of them were done with gestures. Lord Chaitanya said, "I am afraid to ask you. Where are you from?" The mentality of Nityananda was very childish. He was overwhelmed with intense ecstasy. He spoke like a restless boy. Lord Nityananda knew the cause for the appearance of his Lord. He thus folded his hands and spoke very humbly. Hearing the words of Lord Chaitanya, Lord Nityananda felt shy. Therefore he began to reveal his real identity. Lord Nityananda said, "I have traveled to many holy places. I have also seen all the holy places where Krishna did his pastimes. I saw only holy places, but could not find Krishna there. I asked some exalted personality, why do I see only thorns? The places of pastimes are all empty or covered. Can you tell me where Krishna went?" He told me Krishna has gone to Bengal. Recently he was at Gaya, but now he has returned to Navadvip. I have heard that joyous Sankirtan of the holy names is being done in Nadia. Some people say that Lord Narayan has appeared here. I have also heard that Nadia is famous for deliverance of the fallen souls. So being most simple as I am, I have come here. Lord Chaitanya said, we are all immensely fortunate to see a pure devotee like yourself. Today we are satisfied, having seen the flow of your tears of ecstasy. Then Murari smilingly said, O Lord, we are confused hearing such words as you and ours spoken by you. Srivas Pandit said, how can we understand their dealings? Just as it is hard to understand how Krishna and Shiva worship each other. Gadadhar Pandit said, oh Srivas, what you say is right. Their qualities resemble that of Ram and Lakshman. Someone else said, both of them are just like two cupids. Others said, both of them are just like Krishna and Balaram. Someone said, I don't know much about them, but I have a feeling that Ananta Shesha has taken shelter of the lap of Krishna. Yet others said, they are just like the two friends, Krishna and Arjuna, as they exchange such affection. Another person said, it appears they are closely related to each other. Whatever they speak is through gestures only. In this way, all the devotees happily describe the glories of Lord Nityananda and Lord Gaurachandra. Anyone who hears about the meaning of Nitai Chand and Gaurachandra will no doubt be released from material bondage. No one except Lord Nityananda served the Lord as a companion, a friend, a brother, an umbrella, a bed, a carrier. Lord Nityananda by his own will serves the Lord in various ways. If Lord Nityananda bestows mercy and qualification on anyone, then he can serve the Lord. Lord Nityananda is the expansion of the original personality of Godhead. He is once a great yogi, a supreme controller, and the topmost Vaishnava. Who can understand his unlimited glories? Without understanding his unfathomable glories, if anyone criticizes him, then even after receiving devotional service to Lord Krishna, his advancement will be checked. This is my only desire. May Lord Nityananda Ram, who is a manifestation and very dear to Lord Chaitanya, become my life and soul. By his mercy I am inclined towards Lord Chaitanya, and by his mercy I am writing the glories of Lord Chaitanya. As Raghunath and Yadanath refer to the same personality, similarly Nityananda and Baladev are different names of one personality. Anyone who wants to cross the ocean of material existence, emerge into the ocean of devotion service, who worship Nitai Chand, all glory to the most enchanting Lord of Lords, Sri Gauranga, all glory to the Supreme Controller, Sri Nityananda, who is non-different from Sri Ananta. Accepting Sri Chaitanya and Nityananda as my life and soul, I, Vrindavan Das, sing the glories of their pastimes. Sri Nityananda Rama Ki. So this is the real appearance. This pastime is the real appearance of Lord Nityananda. That's why we read these wonderful words of Krishnadas Kaviraj, Vrindavan Das Thakur. Actually seeing Sri Sri Gaur Nitai today in their brand new outfit, so beautifully decorated, we immediately remember the first verse of Chaitanya Bhagavat written by Vrindavan Das Thakur. Ajana lambita bhujo kanaka vadato sankirtanai kapitaro kamalaya taksho vispambaro dijabaro jugadharma palo bande jagatta priyakaro karuna avataro. Ajana lambita bhujo. We all know the meaning of bhuja, right? Bhuja means limbs. Janu means knee. So ajana lambita bhujo. Their limbs stretch beyond their knees. This is considered to be a very auspicious symptom in the body of a great personality. So ajana lambita bhujo. Now there's something interesting here in this verse, Vrindavan Das Thakur. Because in our Sanskrit, not only we have plural, singular and plural, it's like almost all our languages we have single and plural. In Sanskrit we also have dual. When we talk about two things, there's a special ending. It's like English, this is a book. But if we want to talk about many books, or even two books, then we put an S on the end, it becomes books. But we don't have anything, if we just talk about two books, we don't have any word. But in Sanskrit there's ending. And if that word ends in an A, then we add a U, it becomes O. Ajana lambita bhujo. Now we could say the sense Lord Chaitanya has two hands, it's in dual because of his two arms. But from the context of the rest of the verse, we understand that Vrindavan Das Thakur is talking about two personalities, so therefore dual is being used. Both of these personalities, they have arms that stretch beyond their knees. Ajana lambita bhujo, kanaka vadato. Kanaka means gold. Just like in Ayodhya, there's one place called Kanak Bhavan. There you see Goddess Sita and Lord Ram sitting. Everywhere we see them standing, but in Kanak Bhavan, you can see Goddess Sita and Lord Ram in sitting position, ruling. So that's called the Golden Palace, Kanak Bhavan. So gold, Kanak means gold. Kanak avadato, avadato means luster. And here it says, not Kanak avadata, but avadato. Both of these personalities, just as we were reading, they're shining like gold. Kanak avadato. Sankirtanaika Pitaro, not Pita, but Pitaro. They're both the fathers of the Sankirtan movement. Just like sometimes we sing that nice song, Esikadiya sabnadiya pirchinechi gornitai, Esikadiya sabnadiya pirchinechi gornitai, Radha Krishna bol bol bolore sobai, Radha Krishna bol bol bolore sobai, Radha Krishna bol bol bolore sobai. These two lords were wandering around telling everyone, Hari bol, chant Hari. Chant Hare Krishna, chant Radha Krishna. They're both of these brothers were wandering around Nadia. So they're the Pitaro, they're the fathers of the Sankirtan, Sankirtanaika Pitaro. Kamalaya Taksho, Kamala we know means lotus. And Aksha is eye, Kamalaya Taksho. Both of them, Kamalaya Taksho, both of them, two of them, they have eyes just like lotus flowers. Just like we see their beautiful faces decorated, their eyes are decorated so nicely today. Kamalaya Taksho. Visvambaro. Here we were reading that one is Visvambaro, one is Nityananda, but here it says Visvambaro, dual. Both of them are the sustainers of the universe. Because we know that Lord Chaitanya, he's non-different than Krishna himself, and Krishna is the maintainer of the whole universe. But Lord Nityananda, he's Baladev, and we know Baladev in his form as Anantashesh, he's also sustaining the universe. Therefore it's in dual, Visvambaro, they're both sustainers of this universe. Visvambaro, Dvijabaro. Dvija. Dvi, you can probably speculate, means two. And Ja, just like Janmashtami, means birth. So Dvija means Brahman. And here it doesn't say Dvija Bara, it says Dvija Baro. Both of them are the best of the Brahmanas. We just discussed how Lord Nityananda was the son of Harai Pandit. And Lord Chaitanya's father's name was? Jagannath Mishra. Mishra also means Brahman. Dvija Baro, not Dvija Bara, Dvija Baro, both of them, these two lords are both Brahmins. Not just Brahmins, best of the Brahmins, Dvija Baro. Visvambaro, Dvija Baro, Yuga Dharma Palo. This word palna means to protect, to nourish, to maintain, to encourage. So we know in the previous incarnation, these two, we heard this Pal before, Gopal. Here it says Palo, both of them. They were both Gopals. Brajandanandana say, Sachisuto Hoilo Jay. That Brajandanan Shamsundar has come as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Balaram Hoilo Nitai. So previously they were both Gopals. They were herding cows, maintaining cows, protecting cows, nourishing cows, encouraging cows. Palo, Gopal. They were both Gopals, Palo. But in this avatar, Juga Dharma Palo, they're protecting, maintaining, encouraging, spreading this Yuga Dharma of Nam Sankirtan. Before they were Gopals, now they become Yuga Dharma Palo. Both of them are Yuga Dharma Pals. Protectors, maintainers, encouragers of this Yuga Dharma Nam Sankirtan. Bande Jagatta Priya Karo. Not Priyakar, but Priyakaro. Both of them are the well-wishers of Jagat. Jagat means this universe. Just like we know Prabhupada signed all of his letters, your ever well-wisher. So these two brothers, Jagat Priyakaro, not Priyakar, Priyakaro, they're both the well-wishers. They've come to spread this simple process of Nam Sankirtan as the method for deliverance from this dark age of Kali, from this entrapment of material existence. We're wrapped in Maya's grip. How to get free from that Maya's grip? Only one way to get free from Maya's grip. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. They've given such a simple process for us. They're the well-wishers of this universe. Jagatta Priya Karuna Avataro, not Karuna Avatar, Avataro, both of them. Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda, they're both avatars of Karuna. Karuna means compassion. They're so compassionate that they've given a simple process. This process is so simple, it is so special, even if you don't want spiritual life, you get it. Just like we had a very wonderful godbrother named Vishnu Jan Swami, who had a big bus and he traveled around in this big bus. He said it's like a big fish swimming around this ocean of material existence. Big fish. And it would come to a city, and from the belly of the fish would unfold a festival. As you see on the bus, the bottom, the belly part is where all the luggage is. So from the belly of the fish, all of us, the stage will come out, instruments will come, sound equipment will come, everything will come, prasad stand will come. And they put on a festival in a city somewhere in America. So I was there one time, and this businessman was coming by every day. So one day he stopped me. Every day you guys are here, you're chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. And I go home at night and I try to go to sleep, and the only thing that comes in my brain is Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Even they don't want spiritual. I was envious. Actually, I was envious. I wish at night when I go to sleep, the Hare Krishna will come in my brain. So they're Karuna avatars, avatars of compassion, giving such a simple process. Even if you don't want spiritual life, you're getting spiritual life. This chanting is so auspicious. Even if the name, Harinam Chintamani describes, even if the name comes as part of some other word, still you get benefit. Just like I was just in Brazil, so that they have a whole chain of supermarkets. Futurama. Futurama. So people are saying, I'm going to Futurama to go shopping. So they're chanting Lord Rama's name. They're so compassionate, these two lords. They give such a wonderful process. As our Prabodhanath Saraswati come. He's supposed to take over at 9 o'clock. Anyway, these lords are so Karuna avatar. They're avatars of compassion, both of them. And we know, of course, the most famous Leela of Lord Nityananda, of course, is Jagai Madai Leela. And there we saw that Lord Chaitanya, he was ready to kill Jagai Madai. The Lord Nityananda intervened. He said, no, if you kill them, who will you save? In Kali Yuga, all of us are like Jagai Madai, worse than Jagai Madai. We're worse than Jagai Madai. Just like, you may have heard of some fellow named Chitragupta. You know Chitragupta? He's the secretary of Yamaraj. Do you know the meaning of Chitra? Photograph. Chitra, Chitra. And Gupt, just like yesterday we were at Vrindavan and behind is Guptakun, secret. So you did some simple activity, you thought, oh, nobody saw that. Chitraguptagachu. Oh, nobody saw that. We were such type of people, at least I was, I don't know about you, you all seem to be such bright faces, I think you were all great personalities. But we were all such wretched personalities, we crashed Chitragupta's hard drive trying to keep track of our simple activity. So Lord Nityananda said, if you kill them, then you'll have to kill everybody. You have to save them. He picked up Jagai and Madai, and he dropped them on the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya. So Lord Chaitanya was ready. He called the Sudarshan Chakra. He's ready to kill them. But Lord Nityananda saved them. Lord Nityananda is so merciful. He's the most merciful. And we see that the full manifestation of Lord Nityananda's mercy has come in the form of Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada is so merciful. We can't imagine the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. I just told you what type of people we were. Prabhupada was lifting us up. He was living with us. He was cooking for us. I remember when I joined in Boulder, Colorado, so then it started snowing, so it was difficult to do Sankirtan, so they sent me to LA to get trained up, because LA Prabhupada, that was our world headquarters. Still a very wonderful temple in Dwarka. So I met one devotee named Mahapurush. He told me a very wonderful story about Prabhupada. Touched my heart. Because he was one of the original devotees from 26 2nd Avenue. So sometimes he used to come there. And everybody knew that noontime you could go up to Prabhupada's apartment behind the storefront and get free food, free lunch. So sometimes he used to go for lunch, and it was very interesting lunch. This spicy sabji, some type of funny soup, and this round, flat, unleavened breads called chapatis. Rice, of course, everybody knows. So sometimes he used to stop by for the free lunch. And Prabhupada was sitting there directing, serve out everything. So one day he came for the lunch in Prabhupada's apartment. He was sitting there. And it was just so nice. Prabhupada was sitting there. It was so nice sitting in Prabhupada's association. Just like we're hearing about how Lord Nityananda, as soon as Lord Visvambara saw Lord Nityananda, they were just completely enchanted by each other. So he just imagined Prabhupada's association was so enchanted. So he just sat there, till suddenly he realized everybody had left. And we were just rascal hippies. We didn't even wash our plates, we didn't even wash our hands. We just throw the plate in the sink and go. So Mahapurush was looking around. He saw these dirty plates in the sink. He saw these dirty pots sitting there. And he thought, well, every day somehow these get cleaned. All these plates get cleaned, all these pots get cleaned. And usually I'm not here. There's only one other person sitting in this room. There's only one other person who could be doing all this. So then he got up, he started picking up the plates and began washing, and Prabhupada smiled and said, I was just praying to Lord Krishna to send somebody to please kindly help me. I was just praying to Lord Krishna to send someone to please kindly help me. Prabhupada was cooking, he was cleaning up after. We can't imagine the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. It's unbelievable. These type of people would come, like us, come to the temple nowadays. Says, can you go around the back and take your plate of prasad and go around back? But Prabhupada was cooking for these people, cleaning up after these people. He was so determined to save them. He was Prabhupada is the full manifestation of the mercy of Lord Nityananda. Nobody has shown this verse, Trinadapi Sunijina Torari Vasishna, Amani Ramanadana Kirtaniya Sadari, like Srila Prabhupada. We can't even think of cleaning up after somebody. Especially pure devotee of the Lord. He could have stayed in any Gaudiya Math temple in India, and what to speak of cleaning. He would have people cleaning for him, washing his clothes, cooking for him, cleaning for him. But he was cooking and cleaning for the most fallen souls. No one. This is real Trinadapi. We can't imagine such a thing. It's like now wherever I go, because I'm a little bit old and people try to help me. But Prabhupada had no one to help him. He was just praying, please send someone. I'm just praying to Krishna, please send someone to kindly help me. Are we ready to go down that low, become that humble? Nobody has lived this verse like Srila Prabhupada. He's the full manifestation of the mercy of Lord Nityananda. So now I see Prabodhananda Saraswati Maharaj has come to continue churning the ocean of Lord Nityananda's glories. So I'll put my voice to rest here. Jai Nitai! Jai Nitai! And I'll tell you a little secret. After our Abhishek, if you run down to Nityananda Vat, you'll also, their Vijay Vigraha Didi of Lord Nityananda is this big. So it's very, very special Abhishek. Just this tiny Didi, and they're pouring yogurt and milk and everything on top of this tiny little Didi. You have just enough time to run there after our Abhishek, see Lord Nityananda's Abhishek in Sringarvat, and come back here in time for the feast. This is a secret I'll tell you. Hare Krishna. So now I humbly invite Prabodhananda Saraswati to come here and continue churning the glories of Lord Nityananda.